And then come standing up onto your left foot and hold onto your right. Do you want to stand on here, Min? So keeping that long line that we found at the beginning of class. So John, just try and squeeze your knees together there. And check that your two hips are nice and even. So the best way to do that is to just feel that really long line, wind that goes right up to the crown of your head. That's it. So it's your tummy is on and you've got that length through your spine, but it's not just the front of your body you're opening out. So you're thinking of that long line coming through the back of your body. So just make sure those knees are together. So Sue, when you were walking, did you notice if you were dropping into that hip? Do you notice any asymmetry when you walk?
No, I don't notice any asymmetry, but I do stand on my left leg a lot more than my right.
Okay, so try and not to do that. Do you cross your legs as well?
Sometimes.
Sit when you sit.
Yeah, sometimes, but the right leg always goes over left, and I keep telling myself, no, you must do it the other way.
Yeah, try not to cross your legs and just let it settle down. And when you get into the car, do you sit your bum in and then swing your legs over?
Yeah.
Yep. Good. All right, so now coming back to the bar. And then step your right foot back and then your left foot. And then fold at the front of the hip and lift your tail. So you're really stretching out those hamstrings with a nice straight spine. John, just keep your shoulder blades back and together there. Good. And your chin into your neck. Now tuck your tail under and squeeze your low tummy muscles back into that lumbar spine. Breathe in there, opening the back of your ribs, and then as you breathe out, squeeze your belly back a little bit more. Then come up a little bit higher and press your belt line back. So squeeze those tummy muscles right back. Try and get a little bit more of a tuck under there. Yes, so you're trying to really squeeze your tummy back that way and your bottom's down there. Now go a bit higher so it's into your ribs. Open out through the back of the ribs. And then come into your long line. Shoulders are down. That's it. Collarbones wide. Tummy pulling in and up. So just be careful there, Sue, not to collapse into your lumbar. So you want to keep this part of your spine long. Now fold at the hip and lift your tail. Find that stretch in your hamstrings. And then curl the tail under, opening the low back and the mid back, and come back to your long line. So watch out there, Sue, bring your pelvis back a little bit more. Yeah, good. And then fold at the hip and lift the tail. And then rolling through, trying to hit all those positions, opening the low back, the mid back, the upper back, and then finding that length. Now try and send your belly button back into your spine as you press your heels down to the floor a little bit more. And again, squeeze your belly button back into your spine. So feel that energy going from your sit bones all the way down to your heels. Now open your chest here. Keep your tummy on. Open your chest. Now bring your chin to your neck. Open the ribs, the mid back, the low back, and lift the tail. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, push forward. Press your heels down. Squeeze your tummy muscles in and up. Lift the face, open the throat, widen the collarbones. Chin to the neck, press the shoulder blades wide, opening the mid back, the low back, and lift the tail. Now take your feet out wide so that they're wider than your hips, and tilt your pelvis from one side to the other. So just come back a bit more here. No, not with your feet. With your bum. Now stay with your pelvis pointing to your right foot, belly button pointing to your right foot, and just rock a little bit forward and back there. And then to the other side, rock a little bit forward and back there. Then come back to center, bring the feet back to parallel, and rolling through the spine to step forward and come back towards the bar. Now drop your ear to your shoulder and step to the side. Ear to the shoulder, step to the side. Then drop your nose to your armpit, so you're opening the back of your neck. And nose to the armpit, opening the back of the neck. Now keep your nose pointing forward, tilt your ear to your shoulder and lift the side of your chin to the ceiling. So you're getting the front of the neck. Now the other side. Now come back to center, take the left foot behind, ball of the foot and then the heel. Bend the knee and stretch. Roll through the foot and stretch the front of the foot. Curl the toe under, press the heel down. Bend the knee and stretch. Roll through the foot and stretch the front of the foot. Take that foot further back there, bend your two knees, standing up nice and tall there, so maybe bring your foot a bit closer to the bar win. That's it, and now stand up straight and squeeze your belly button back into your spine so you're opening the front of that left hip. And again, so you're trying to let your heel come off the floor, the knees bent, the tummy squeezes back. And one more time. Tummy pulling in and under. Now lifting the left arm, so you've got left leg and left arm side bending. And come back square. And again side bending. And come back square. Last one, we side bend, then leaning forward, opening the back left ribs, and then opening. So Lena, does this side, this is not the tight side, right?
Yeah, I think, well, they're both, well, yeah. This one's more open generally, but it's tight because of the other side. Doesn't make it.
I'll explain that to you later. So come standing up onto your right foot for your quad stretch. So try and keep your hips nice and square there. So grow tall, lift up right through to the crown of your head then. That's it. Think of your tummy pulling in and back. So you're trying to get that little bit of a posterior tilt. Try and keep your knees together. As tall as you can there. So because it's like a pulley system, Lena, so your body works like a machine, like a pulley system, and so one side pulls, it gets tight, and then the other side feels tight, it's on stretch though. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is the one that curls in.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that one's
That one
up.
kind of has to counterbalance.
Yeah, now it's tightened up because it wants that one.
It's trying to resist the drag. I think us Scully chicks need to just go to get our tune up regularly, because your curve will want to keep going that way.
Yeah, I think I just need to stretch more though.
Probably
Yeah.
more garuda, more
Yeah.
regular garuda.
Yeah.
Alright, then coming back to the bar. And now you're going to stand nice and tall again, find that long line we found at the beginning, and rising up onto your toes and lower back down. Rising up and lower back down. Now just notice when you're doing that rise, are you pitching forward with your pelvis or not? So what I want you to do is to use your tummy so much that your whole body, your ribs, everything lifts up all together. You come up all together. Everything up all together. And lowering down. Now going up onto your toes and lower down onto your right leg. And as you lower down, make sure your hips stay really square. So lift up out of that hip. So go up onto your toes and then lift up out of that hip. Yep, so there's your indication, Nana, that your tummy is not on enough. Because you wouldn't fall backwards if your tummy was on enough. So you go up. Maybe just think of bringing your ribs cage a little bit further forward. lowering and coming up and then lowering. Now go up onto your toes. Now this time lower down so you're standing on your right foot. And your hips are square and all your weight is on your right foot. Now Sue, if this hurts your hip, don't do it. Drop the hip down and lift the hip up.
Which hip am I dropping?
So if you have a look at me, you go with your hip down and hip up. So you're dropping your hip down and you're lifting it up. And you're dropping it down. If you can do that without your foot on the floor, so you're balancing, yep, and then come to square. So lift your two hips up so you're square, so you're not dropping down into your hip anymore. Now keep your hips square and bend the supporting leg and stretch. And again, bend the supporting leg and stretch. And bend the supporting leg. Now keep the knee bent and take your left foot forward and take it around to the back. Then go forward and take it around to the back. And forward and take it around to the back. Now pump that leg back behind you. So work hamstring and glute on that left side. Watch that your hips stay square. So as you push your leg back, you also have to squeeze your tummy in. And go push the leg back, squeeze the tummy in. Push the leg back, squeeze the tummy in. Now hold that work there and pitch forward onto your right foot, onto your right hip, and then come back up straight. So the whole body comes forward like a little seesaw. The head doesn't go without the leg. When your head's going more than your foot. So make your foot go more than your leg. Now stop there. Take your hands away from the bar if you haven't already. Turn and look to the right. Look to the left. Come back to center. And coming back up to stand on 2 feet. The feet are hip width apart. And rising back up, so you're checking that when you rise, you're squeezing your tummy muscles in even more so that your ribs are staying over the top of your feet. So coming up onto both toes, and now this time lower down onto your left. You're standing on your left foot. And you're going to drop your hip down, so your right foot's off. If you can do it without holding on, you drop your hip down and you lift it up. And you drop the hip down and you lift it up. And you drop the hip down. Now bring the hip to square and then bend the supporting leg and stretch. Keep your foot in bent there, Sue. Bend it and stretch. Bend it and stretch. Now keep the knee bent, keep your hips square. Watch that the weight of that leg that you're standing on, the weight's going through the second toe. And now take your foot forward and circle it around. And take it forward and circle it around. And take it forward and circle it around. Now lift the leg behind you, pump it up. So as you squeeze your tummy, watch there, Sue, there's lots of movement in that side. Use your tummy and press hamstring and glute back. And again, press hamstring and glute back. Oh, lots of movement on that side, Sue, not much stability. Is that a sore one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, so now you're going to hold on, press that leg back behind you, and then pitch forward, and then coming back up. And again, pitch forward.
Attention. Annual testing of the emergency warning system is in progress.